Ready? You ready to go live? Huh? You ready to go live? Huh? You want me telling you got a new baby alpaca? I think they might already know. I don't know. I ain't trying to tell you all your secrets. My goodness. You ready to go live? Come on up here. You want to go live? I ain't got to go live with you. I'll go live by myself. I'll do this show right by myself. I'll do it right by myself. You crazy nut. All right. Well, fine. We'll do it by ourselves. Okay. You ready to go? 1, 2, 3. Welcome to MUDDIN and BEAGS, episode 57. MUDDIN is somewhere. I don't know where he is. Where are you, MUDDIN? I don't know. Hello, Miss Teresa Gregory. How are you this evening? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. We are. Hey, you want a biscuit? I guess somebody wants a biscuit. So let's give a biscuit so somebody will be nice to us. You gonna come visit? Say hello. Hell, okay, that was about all I can get out of him today. He's a nut today. I don't know. My goodness. How you doing, Miss Teresa? How is it going? Okay. So I'm trying to get my doodad here to doodad. I don't know what it's doing. Anyways, I think we'll go ahead and get on into it. Okay. So I think we'll go do a little digging in the archives tonight, and I'll see how that goes for us. Hello, Siggy. What's going on, Mr. Siggy? Okay, so this laptop was doing fine, and now it's not doing what it was doing. So I don't know what it's doing. Okay, so for the moment, I can't see the chat. So let's go ahead and get this over with, and we'll be right back. Oh, no, there we go. Buttons aren't toys.
You think you know me? You think you know my struggles, my pain, my journey? Let me tell you something. Don't judge me by what you see or hear. I didn't walk this path to impress anyone. People love to point fingers, to act like they know everything. They don't know my story. You don't know what I had to sacrifice. Because everything I've become was built from battles you never saw.
Okay, we are back. Yeah, that was weird. The chat, the chat disappeared and the screen disappeared, the actual video, and now it's not playing. I don't know what it's doing. This computer has a mind of its own. This old laptop here, it's got a mind of its very own. Okay, so there it's playing now. I like to have it going so I can look down and see you guys. If you have any questions, maybe I'll see. Hey, whatever you're up to, you better get on out of it. That's not yours, that's Daddy's. You want a knuckle sandwich? Huh? You want his twin brother? Yeah. Better quit messing around in there. That ain't yours. You know that ain't yours. I know that ain't yours. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna add get rid of this. Bear with me, folks. Oh, okay. Add this to stages and put my doodad to doodadded, and we're not going there. Okay, I figure we'll start off with the arcade building tonight. So this is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and this is in the middle of the Hump Cut area, and this building was constructed after the Hump Cut. Believe it, starting in I want to say 14 or 15. This says 1916, but it's obviously well under construction. And there was a weird history to this. I went over this on a previous episode about the location of this building. It is, if you need reference, it is literally right beside. Matter of fact, we can go there. It is literally right beside the Allegheny Courthouse. Well, technically the Frick building, and it is right here. And hi, Beagle. Okay, so you got the Allegheny Courthouse, and if you remember from the hump cut research, that let me drop in there so you can see where we're at. So you got, this is the famous this is ground zero for hump cut. And so you saw these buildings a lot. That's the Frick building, and that's the Allegheny Courthouse and jail down there. And this building, this lot here, has a very weird history. I went over this history in a previous episode, so I don't want to go over that tonight. But this building was built after the hump cut, and this lot was empty, and there was I believe it was 2 cathedrals on this lot, and there's just a very strange history about this lot. And this lot was empty during the hump cut, but it stood out as strange to me as I was looking into that research. And so what is this thing? Hold on, folks. I got this thing here. It is blocking, so I can't see anything on my chat. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on a second. Okay, that's better. Okay, there we go. Hello, Lizzo. Okay, now I can actually see a little bit. What the hell is one of those damn what do they call it? McAfee thingies. I don't know what it is. Okay, so anyways, this building is quite interesting. Let me get. This is under construction. It's actually, it's got this really old world look to it, but it's my idea that or my thinking on it is that everything before 1943 is suspect. So even though we have construction photos of this image, of this picture, of this building, even though we have images that's been vanilla skied, see that right there? Even though we have images of there nothing on the lot, it's still on my list as to a possible, old world building. I'm not willing to knock it off. It's just too interesting to take it off the list, I think. And here's a image of when it was excavated. This is right after the hump cut, so you still have a lot of the hump cut buildings still there. These buildings are all gone now. But this is the hole they dug for it. This hole looks to have been dug after the hump cut. This is 1915. Hump cut was finished in 1913. I believe this building is gone. Yeah, this building is gone. Eagle representing the Phoenix. Bless you. My goodness. I could have got blown away with that sneeze. Oh, goodness gracious. Why you got to come up in my lap doing that, you nut? Daggone. Siggy Star can hear that. He don't want to hear that mess. So that's the Allegheny jail right there. But anyways, another reason I wanted to look at these images is because there's a lot of information from the hump cut in these images.
You can see where they dug the hump cut dirt out right here as an example. Would that chicken wing get up on you? He got him a. I had took the meat off a chicken wing, and he ate that with his dinner. Look at that. Interesting. What in the world? What in the world? You need to chill on right on out with all that. I'm over here trying to do what I'm doing. You're over here acting crazy. My goodness, bless you. See, he says bless you. Daggone. Just get the boogers out, would you? Jeez Louise. Good gracious. You a nut. Danger, keep moving. Danger, Beagle, danger. Got some brick. Won't you go play in the road or something? Jeez. Drive me nuts. Go find a toy to play with and sneeze on. Instead of sneezing on me. I don't even got a snot rag handy to deal with you. Good grief. Look at that crane right there. How that functions. So, is it old world? I don't know. If you go by the official narrative, obviously, you would say, no, that's not old world. It's obviously built at this time. But then again, I think they had the ability to. I think they messed with the Matrix. Let's put it that way. That they screwed with the hologram, and so it's very possible. I can't remember if this building is still there or not. I don't remember. It might be. If their antennas sticking up, cartouches, that weird shield symbol that I'm still wondering what it is. Look at the detail on that one. 1889 Mater. Is that toe mater? I don't know. But no, I wanted to look at these because of the images in the background. The buildings. This is the hump cut area. So this is a continuation, I would say, of the hump cut information, even though it was done after the hump cut. But what I want you to focus on here is the top is just extraordinary. The bottom's okay, but the top, it gets better. It's just and this is a weird thing. In the supposedly, when they sold this lot to Frick, I believe is who they sold it to, Henry Frick, and he owns the building next door. One of the stipulations that the Catholic Church gave in the sale was that they were to, I don't remember the wording, but basically incorporate the history and aesthetic of that there was a cathedral there at one time. Look how they're putting in, this bottom here. So that's why supposedly it has this wedding cake, as I call it, look to it. Just over the top look. That's the story they give. Now, that's a little bit odd, I think. This is basement construction. Now, what if these images are just older than we're told. What if these images were taken when the building was built in the old world, and then they photo manipulated the hump cut images to make it look like there was nothing there? And if you don't think that's possible, I highly suggest you look into photo manipulation of glass plate negatives, because they had some very, very clever tricks. This reminds me of Ground Zero. Remember that ramp they put down into the tub, the bathtub as they called it. Um, we okay, lower floors. It just strikes me as so interesting that such small men can work, you know, with such large materials. I mean, I know we still do that. It's just still fascinating. I think it's really interesting. Some guys working up there. There's that crane. That's how they lift things. There's another one here. Unfortunately, I can't download these. The wonderful people at the University of Pittsburgh have decided that we don't, get to download the images in all their wisdom. Very intelligent people over there for college grads. But I guess we can't all be, brightest candles in the candle store. Let's see. Plumbing contractors. So regardless of whether this building, was built later or not, it's still interesting to look at the architecture that's around it, because it is the hump cut. So it definitely is important to the hump cut research, I think. In fact, if I was to be able to download these images, I would definitely put this set of images with the hump cut images, because there is so much detail around them that needs to be, seen, that it definitely would be worth putting with it. They just stack it up there. They're having such a problem in major cities where the facades are falling off the buildings down. There's the big arch, two little arches, and the porthole in the middle. And these portholes would open up in a lot of cases. So it actually was a porthole. So that'd be for the ventilation system. Basement excavation. I don't know what this building is here. Pretty sure these are gone. If I'm not mistaken, all these right here are gone now. There's some more hump cut dirt right there. It's that big pile of dirt right there. I think the hump cut went on for longer than they, say that it went on. I think there's like an official, start time and begin end time, but I think it went on longer. I don't think they could have done all that in 2 years. I think that's um, just kind of ridiculous to think. Oh wait a minute, where's my picture? Oh, oh wait a minute. Hold on a second. I did something. Fix it. Hold on a second. Let me see what I did here. Okie dokie. Bear with me. I don't know what I did there. That's weird. It doesn't go to the next page. Well, okay, let's try it. Let me try it a different way. Bear with me, folks. How many pictures is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Let's try 50 per page. See if that did it. What the hell's going on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we're back. Let me get you your visual. Okay, I got it fixed. I got to get rid of this stupid thing. It drives me nuts. Okay, this is Union Arcade steel framing progress. Oop, oop. Um, I looked at this building. I forget which building it is. Been a little while since I've been digging in the hunt cut. This is mainly just steel framing. So that's not too interesting. Let's see what else we got. You want to whiff 6R from all that hazardous waste? All right. We'll give you a whiff. We'll get you a whiff of that. Look how tiny those little people are. This reminds me of a pan tilt shift uh, image. If you've ever seen one of those, I really like the videos like that. I've made a couple videos posted with that pan tilt shift stuff going on. It's pretty cool. You have to have special cameras and stuff. It's pretty neat. It basically makes things look miniature. It's a trick of the lens in the camera, but it makes it look pretty cool. But that's what that looks like right there. That the way that that looks exactly like that to me. Kind of neat. Went out to pick up logs yesterday out of the woods because cut down a big tree and was gonna start processing the wood for the first winter. And anyways, first part is get the wood out of the woods, and so I'm back there trying to get the logs up. And I start getting logs on the cart and everything, and then Dan find a damn snake in my damn woodpile. You go on, you son of a bitch! Throw a stick at him. He just hissed at me. Like, you dang it. So I said, well, I'll strategically come back another time. I went and did something else. I ain't got no time for no snake. I don't like them damn things. I don't know if that's hard to tell what level that is right there. That kind of looks like it's the first ground level there, but I'm not sure. It's really interesting how they construct these things. I mean, I don't want to take away from men that can do these things. That I believe that men can do these things. I'm not saying we can't do this. Um, I just have questions. Is there? It's several things. It's the location. It's the people that owned it. It's the people that built it. It's the history of the location. Um, the fact that it was strategically empty during the hump cut, which is, I don't know. There's a strangeness to that. I don't know, and the fact that it's so elaborate. I don't know. There's just a weirdness about it. So I don't want to rule it out. I mean, we want to know what really happened, and I don't think what really happened, whatever happened, I don't think it's like textbook definition, something that we understand. It's above our pay grade. I don't think we have a comprehension of what happened. We I don't think we've ever experienced whatever happened to the old world. We don't, to figure it out. We have to think differently, because whatever it was that ended this old world, um, it was just so far away from our normal understanding that I don't think we have the cognitive ability to really figure it out right now. I think it's just it's too big. I mean, they you don't just destroy a worldwide civilization. Um, Not saying it was one civilization, but overall it was a world, a civilized. It was civilized worldwide, I believe. But you don't just get rid of a complete civilization like this and then rewrite the history without something there being a major reason why. It wasn't a little reason, it was a big reason. It was a dark reason. Some people did some very, very bad things, I think. Things that they don't want to, us to know. And I also believe that it's the same clowns that are running our world today and screwing it up. I think it's the same, bloodlines and the same um, organizations and groups that have been doing it all along. I think they took control of this world and then worked very hard to make sure that the only thing we knew was what they told us. I think they worked very hard at it. I think they used AI. I think they've had AI for a long time. I think they've just trickled it out to us now. Um, and but I believe they've had the use of AI and computers for a very long time. So I think that was how they could rewrite the historical records so easily. Um, I don't think it was as hard as we kind of make it out to be. There's Fred doing what Fred does. His computer's decided to go wonky again. I swear this thing's on peyote or something. I don't know what it's on. It's got a mind of its own, I'm telling you. I like these windows right here. These could be portholes. I don't know. Just amazing detail. Look at that. Arc light. Danger. There's Fred bringing in the materials. That's what he does. Oh, here he is again, bringing it in. You got him a big old fat wagon there. Yeah, steam machines right there. Portable steam power. They used that in the hunt cut. If you remember, they were using jackhammers. Spread down there. There, they certainly don't. Notice how this job site's not walked off. Like it's not, you can just walk around here. They didn't have OSHA back then. That little farm alpaca, she's I call her Peppa, and she runs around. She's funny. She's fast too. She gets them little legs a going. She'll run around in circles. Funny. It's nice to have a baby alpaca. I got brick under there. Hello, TNT. What's going on? Hello, Odin's Raven. I got my chat back. My chat laptop's decided to have a social hour or something. I don't know. Thing has a mind of its own. All right, we're looking at the Union Arcade construction in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In case anybody's wondering. This was in 1915 and 16, that time frame, right after the Pittsburgh Hump Cut, and it was right in the middle of the Pittsburgh Hump Cut. So everything around this, 90% of it was demolished later. So that's one reason we're looking at it. At Taurus Fields. Hello, Miss Annie. I hope you're feeling better this week. Do. I don't know what these are right here. Maybe like a little fence, temporary fence or something. Scrubbed cartouches. So they put a steel frame up under that mansard style roof. I'm blasting through these, so you can get through them. Union Arcade, 238 shops, 714 offices. Space can be modeled to your order to suit your exact requirements. You do not have to pay for space which cannot use. Leases now being made, and taking orders at the Frick building because Frick owns this property. Henry Clay Frick. Very interesting. One of the robber baron class, if you know your robber baron class history. One, he's a very eagle representing the Phoenix. Henry Clay Frick is very much a part of what happened at the Jonestown disaster, the Jonestown flood, which was the largest mass casualty event on U.S. soil before 9/11. So it's an interesting rabbit hole to go down. Get some views of the top here. Just look at that, the detail. Like what? Like why? Why do you need this in 1915 and 16? Like what is the? I don't get it. It doesn't it doesn't line up with what I would think this world was like in this time. This is this is before the Great Depression. Mercury ball antenna. This is pre-depression. This is people were churning their own butter still. And I know that as a fact because I had a family member that one of the things they talked about, they were born in 1918, and one of the things they talked about was that their job as a little girl was to help mama with the laundry and churn the butter. Now, granted, they were from the country and Johnson City, Tennessee, but 1918, well, of course, it would have been 1920, 22, 20, something like that. But, her job was to churn the butter. And she said that was hard work, and people were living lives like that back in that time. And then you go to Pittsburgh and they're building like this. I don't know, it just seems a little off to me. I don't know. It just doesn't jive with the error that the way I was explained that the world was at that time. It just seems a little bit more advanced than I was led on, to believe. I'm not saying the people in the city didn't have better in the country. I'm just saying that it was still hard. I mean, look, they're still running around with horses and carts. They're getting some trucks and stuff, but they're still utilizing horses and carts. Convenient thing to do. There's a reason they're still using horses and carts here. Look, they got big trucks, but they're still utilizing horses and carts. That's interesting to me. I wonder if that's the same steam shovel from the hump cut. That's the Allegheny courthouse, and that's the Allegheny jail. This is after the hump cut, and that should be duly noted that um, they've already dug this out. This whole area was under, I believe this area was 16 feet high. If I'm not mistaken, this area here 16 feet high. But they dug out, or excuse me, they dug out 16 feet of dirt. You can still see it right here, right there. It's like more than 16 feet, but you get the point that it started at 60 back here, and they dug it down. Um, Now this started, back in the 1800s, but mid 1800s, but they dug down 3 times, and got down to last time they took down 30 feet. But overall, over the 3 periods, they took down 60 feet. And we have no records of the first 2 hump cuts. No records. We have documentation that says they did it, but we don't have any photographs. We don't have any documentation of it. No, nothing. We got big old goose eggs. I don't know what that means, but I don't. It means I don't have any evidence that that happened. I don't know. Did it happen? I don't know. It means I got no proof. I mean, we could just trust them. You know, same people that lie about everything. Why not? Why the hell not? It's an interesting building. Any way you look at it, I don't care how you slice this cake. It's interesting. Oh, I hate that. I don't like that little whatever that is. That doodad does that. That's interesting, Miss Tracy. Um, I don't remember what we found, but um, me and Streets Tartaria were looking around one night at the temple at Salt Lake, and we were looking at old images and maps. Um, and we determined that there was some old buildings that used to be on that temple square that are no longer there that were really interesting. That you can see in old photographs and and on the old maps, like Sanborn fire maps. And that's stuff I don't I haven't heard anybody talking about. Imagine they have. I just hadn't heard them talking about it, and it's just really interesting to us. So um, that's a really odd that Temple Square. There's a very strange um, location. A lot of weirdness in that building all the way around and all the way down. There's tunnels that go underneath other buildings, and just really, it's a very strange building. The whole history is very strange. Hello, Tommy Rogers. What's it going on? We're looking at the Union Arcade building in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, around 1915 to 16, under construction. And the reason we're doing that is because it is in the middle of the hump cut area. So right after the hump cut, they started building this bad boy. And so in the background, you can see a lot of the hump cut area. So it's basically a continuation of the hump cut research. In case you were wondering. If you weren't wondering, I told you anyways. And we'll blame that on, let's see, Siggy. Take the blame. Siggy can take it. No problem. Isn't concrete in the winter a problem? I don't think that I can answer that question without looking it up. Because I know I've done concrete in the winter. I had to. In certain cases, I had to have some concrete down. Um, I think your cure time goes up, and I think you got to keep it, make sure it stays dry. Um, and I guess like you have to depend on what do you call winter? Like our winter here is much different than say in Milwaukee. Um, so I'm not sure. I don't. I'd have to look that up. I can't answer that without reinforcements. Or y'all could look it up and let us know, because I really don't know. I'm not a concrete. I don't do concrete. Not. I do like small things with concrete. It's not my thing. Like if I need a little concrete pad, I can do that. Like tomorrow, I'm going to mix up some S mortar and do some stone repair. That for whatever reason, when the masons installed it, they didn't get enough mortar in there, and this little section came out and on my hoop house. And so I talked to the mason this weekend, and I said, "You got any of that S mortar lying around?" He said, "Oh yeah." And I said, "Well, I need about a half a bag." He goes, "You want me to mix it up for you?" I said, "No, I'll mix it. I just needed to know that we had it on the on site." And I said, I'll do it next week." But so I know a little bit about that. Not enough. I know enough to get in trouble. Um, but no, it's not my thing. I mainly like to work with wood. That's my thing is wood. I enjoy working with wood for the most part. Look at that right there. So you got ground level here, and then you're showing underneath the ground. So they're showing how they're going to put in hollow sidewalks right here. Makes you wonder if they had put in pavement light at one time, because that's exactly how that would be done. Yep. hold on a second. What building is that? I think that building is still there. It is. That building is still there. That is. Gosh, I looked into this. Got little Tartarian lions, griffins on there. Um, Grant Street off. No, it has a name. There it is. William Penn Hotel. That's what it is. Okay. I figured I'd take a look back at that. I've gotten to know Pittsburgh pretty good through my Pittsburgh research. It's been a fascinating dive into a city. Um, and I started off. I've been to Pittsburgh, and I you know remember a little bit of what it was like, but like I didn't know the history of Pittsburgh. Um, I didn't know it had a great fire. I didn't know a lot about its history. I didn't know about the hump cut. Hell, I keep having people contact me that say they lived in Pittsburgh all their life and they never had heard about this. So it is a um, pretty good secret in that it happened. They do not teach this in Pittsburgh public schools, it seems. Which is, you know, I think it's very interesting. Why would you not teach people about this major event that happened in your city? I think it's a big deal. I mean, what an accomplishment that you could even do that, much less why you did it. And then you demolished everything after you did it. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. So all this would be gone now. Garage construction. Check out these old cars. I mean, that's a heck of a building. Really is. Oh, man, to be able to accomplish that in that time period is amazing. Um, Impressive. I mean, this is not a joke. This is like high quality for. You know what's weird? It's not just this building. It's not one. If we built one building that was like this, it'd be like, my gosh, we're good. Like, holy my goodness, we're so good at what we do. But there's look next door. Look at that. What's going on there? What's up with that thing? What is that? Well, look at over here. It's not just one building. Look over here. Look at this big dome. These are already built. You know, if it was just one building, it like we wouldn't be interested in this. It'd be like, okay, we looked at that one building. Wow, okay, whoop de doo. But there's hundreds of thousands of buildings like this. Hundreds of thousands. Maybe not this size, but buildings that are very complicated and elaborate and interesting and, architecturally significant with amazing details. Hundreds of thousands. I mean, fucking millions. Millions of buildings. There's probably millions of buildings that are this freaking good in some way, shape, or form. Wow, that just look how they're holding that dirt up, holding it back. That man, I don't think I'd want to be standing there. It's a weird doodad there. It's weird how they have that railing jacked up and a mudflood drop in or something there. Mudflood winders. Danger. Blasting. Keep moving. Keep moving. As opposed to stick around and maybe get shrapnel. I mean, what do you want me to do? What is all this junk up here? Like, it's very odd. Very odd. I've been out trimming uh, uh, bushes and trees and everything today. Trying to clean up a wooded area and make it not wooded, make it opening and clean. It's right now it's woods, so we're trying to like get it not woody. Trying to get it where we can mow it, make it look a little more civilized, maybe. I mean, nobody cares, nobody sees it but us. But I don't know what they're putting as their top there. Okay. Let's see if this works. It worked. Ah. Yeah, we definitely built that sucker. That's quality construction right there. These are all the pieces coming in for the facade. The guy standing there. Some of these pictures are pretty incredible. There's an excellent video. It's an old film. I believe it's of the Empire State Building being built. If I'm not mistaken. And there's a video where a guy does a He's a steel worker, and he like a steel. He does build steel buildings, and he watches the film of them building it and watch it and explains what they're doing and everything. It's worth a watch. It's a little bit long. I forget how long it is, but it's not a quick watch, is what I'm saying. It's he stops a lot and talks, but his explanation of the steel work that they're doing, it's like even in his own voice and words, you can hear how almost in disbelief he is that he's watching what he's watching. And he does it for a living. And his analyzation of that construction is it's worth a watch if you're interested in that sort of thing. If you're not, just ignore every word I just said and talk to Teresa Gregory, and she'll work it out for you. What do you think about that? Yep, we got Fred's everywhere. I know a lot of these images look the same, but they quite are different images. So there'll be different things going. I'm just kind of trying to document this because I can't download them. These would have made a nice video, but I can't get them. So um, I figured we'd do it this way. Best we can do. Sometimes the best you can do is the best you can do. I mean, I can get snapshots of a low quality. Like I can take it. Oh, gotta get up here. I can take it here, um, and you see I can't even get the whole thing in. I might even be able to. Sometimes I can do this number. No, it's not gonna. Yeah, I could do that. So I could get the whole. Well, then I have to. Sometimes I have to do stupid stuff like this. I don't know if that worked. Nope. Nope. I don't know why it's not flipping. Why is it not? Nope. I don't know. I'm supposed to be able to flip it. Anyways, but I can't get a good um, copy of the image to even make a video on this. It's ridiculous how they do this website. I guess it's just a note that whoever does these sites that people want these to download these images. So I mean, I know it might be a problem, but I mean, I know a lot of sites can do it. So please figure it out. It can't be that difficult. If you know somebody can do it, because I've looked at many a digital archive where they do allow you to download. Granted, a lot of them don't let you download high resolution. It's lower res, but at least they let you download them. That's a start. Um, but I really wish they would. Blurry. There's Fred down there. That means taking care of business there. Well, we got the, I forget what the what is it called? Farrier? I don't know. The guy that does the hoofs coming next week. So I got to build a temporary corral for doing hoofs. That should be fun. You ever tried to wrangle a donkey? Oh, that's fun. That's a load of fun. Last week we had to give the camels their medicine. Man, boy, they can fight you. A camel is an ornery son bitch. I'm going to just say that right now. Every morning I go out there and I go to take off, um, pull the fur off, the old fur off the girl camel. The boy's already shedded, but the girl shed later for some reason. I don't know why. But she shed, and it wasn't coming off real fast. So I started pulling a little bit off. But every time I'd go to pull that fur off, and it won't hurt her, she would just throw a fit, and just go crazy and just cussing me out. Every time I pulled a little bit of fur off her, like I was, beating her to death, knowing good and damn well it didn't hurt. She thought I was stealing her fur. She was just not having it. So she showed her ass every time I pulled that fur off. So I just got to where I just snuck up on her every day until I got a little bit here, a little bit there, pull a little bit off. I finally got the fur off. She looks better now. Boy, she could show her ass. Camels make this hell of a noise. It's funny. Ready. The, they've done studies. I'm not, I'm trying to read your question there, Lizzo. Uh, the they've done studies. I've got videos on it, really interesting, where they talk about how uh, your mind perceives old buildings as opposed to new buildings, and like the areas in your brain light up when they see buildings like this, um, and your mind just goes wild. And when you look at you know modern buildings like brutalist buildings, there's like just no activity in your brain, and then they can do like a half and half, and your brain will like light up for the side that's capturing that imagery. It's just really fascinating. It's like there's something to this architecture other than just it's nice, it's well made. It's more than that. The sacred geometry, it does something to you. It gets up on you. Um, there is really some sort of um, dare I say spiritual aspect to these constructions or this method of construction that we are not privy to today, and we wonder why we're so screwed up. I think architecture is a good part of that. We live in a drab world. glass and steel and concrete. It's tasteless. And they've trained us to think old buildings are just, old buildings. They're not even interesting. That's what they've made us believe. And I just look at old buildings like they were, oh, that's just old. I didn't really look at it because everything was supposed to be modern. We were always going for modern. That's what's good is modern, and it's not. It's not good. It's not good at all. Boom, boom, boom. So maybe, looking at these images week after week, maybe it does have some sort of uh, spiritual, rejuvenation to it that we don't even understand. Which, you know what, if that's all that we ever get out of this, I'm okay with that. What's wrong with that? How is that a bad you know a bad outcome? I mean, if say we never get to the bottom of whatever happened back then, if we gain um this spiritual energy, and we light the parts of our brain up every week, just taking some time to appreciate this style of architecture. If that's all we ever get out of it, my goodness, I'm okay with that. I really am. That's weird. That almost looks like a face there, doesn't it? The symmetry. The arches. I really like arched windows. They're so much better than a square window. Well, open. You respect my Tartary. Just hanging outside the building there. There's that William Penn Hotel. Looks like they're up in the Frick building taking these pictures. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. I wonder what that is. It's kind of odd right there. Huh. All right. Fred down there. Hope y'all had a good week. How'd y'all like that music video last week? Legos with the with my research on the tagged on the end. I thought it was pretty cool. I would love to be able to make Lego videos like that. I don't know how in the world they do that. It's above my pay grade, but I could have fun with that. Boy, I could have fun with that. Oh my goodness. Imagine a Lego Meltology debunk video. Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be fun. I could enjoy that. I really could get behind that. That would be a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. See, one of their fearless leaders is back this week. Old Spartan Red. Brought his crusty ass back online. He just dropped out there for a while, and all he was doing was posting these old videos of just. That's weird how they put brick in between the steel. I wonder if that's. I don't know, reinforcement maybe? I don't know. Yeah, he dropped out there for a while, about, I don't know, 9 months or almost a year. I don't know. He just dropped off. They were doing live streams every day, and then they just stopped. I know he's in bad health. I tell you what, if I was in bad health, I don't think I'd spend my last days, being a dumbass and trying to sell people on a theory that's washed up and stupid. I think I'd find something else better to do. Maybe spend it with your family, or I don't know, go outside and smell the roses, or I don't know. There's got to be better things to do with your time. Okay, that's that is gonna get that set. That is gonna get that set. Okay. Hey GT, what's going on? All right, let's take a little break here and let the Beagle go do his Beagle thing, and we will be back shortly, and we'll go in and look a little bit more, you guys. Maybe we'll look at something different this time. So let me add our video here. Okie dokie. Beagle wanted a cupcake. Who am I to deny the Beagle a cupcake? I figure if a fella wants a cupcake, a fella should be able to get a cupcake. Come up here. Say hey to Siggy. Let's see here. Camera's a little wonky. What does that? I think I did figure out a way to force it back into focus the other day. Let me try it right now. Y'all ain't got nothing better to do. Let me see if I can I don't know if this is okay. Did that do it? Yeah, that did it. For some reason, I learned this the other day after that show where it absolutely aggravated the hell out of me. I can make it switch cameras, and for some reason that works. I don't know. You like that MDA, huh? Overall. Share it with the rest of the class. My goodness. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Okay. Alrighty. Siggy. What are you talking about up there? Siggy's so naughty. That's all right. I think we're all a little naughty. Okay, so let me see what I wanted to look at next because I don't even know. Beagle, what do you? Hey, excuse me. My pants don't taste like food, so I don't know why you licking my pants. Weirdo. Okay, I got. What is this one? This is. Okay, I got Hill District or. What the hell's this one? Both these are Pittsburgh. One of them is the Hill District, which is above, which was done in I believe the 50s, if I'm not mistaken, where they went in and demolished that area, and they recorded it before they did it. And then I've got another one that's it's called the Pittsburgh Bureau of Building Inspection Photos, and I think they're more just on general glance, or more. Let me get that to 50. There's 224 of them. Those are more residential, it looks like, but they give a great snapshot of that era of time. I think we'll look at those because that is a little bit of an odd time frame. I don't know. Yeah, let me give you that. We'll look at that. I think. I don't think y'all will complain too much. I mean, Liza might have some thoughts, but we'll let Siggy handle that. So this is Pittsburgh Bureau of Building Inspection photographs. The Pittsburgh Bureau of Building Inspection photographs contains images of residences and businesses, many of which show obvious signs of disrepair that had been inspected by the Bureau from 1940 to 1947. Pittsburgh Bureau of Inspection photographs held by the Senator John Hines History Center amount to approximately 1,080 images dating from 1939 to 47. The images depict buildings across the city of Pittsburgh, including those of neighborhoods. South side, north side, Lawrenceville, Bloomfield, the Hill District. Many of the structures photographed have since been demolished. You think? You think? Since I've proved that 90% of Pittsburgh has been demolished since, 1913. Or was it 1905? I think. Yeah, 1905, actually. So I don't know why they're saying 1,080 images when I've only got 224. I don't know what the deal is with that. Why do I only have... Let me open that. Bear with me a second. I just want to check something. Nice story, bro. See, it's still 224. I don't know. I don't know why they're giving me that as opposed to that. Okay. And there's no other link here. Okay. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. We'll just look at what we got. That's all I can do. So enjoy. This is Butler Street. Very, very typical Pittsburgh roof. You'll see many of this style roof right here. These like rectangular style buildings with that roof. Very almost. It is. There's so many roofs like that, and they're even building houses today with that same roof style. It must be, and I cannot figure out what it's called. I wish somebody would figure that out for me, because I have not been able to figure it out. It's probably really simple and I'm just too dumb to figure it out. I don't know. But I haven't been able to figure it out. I've been trying. See, there's another one right there. That same style, you'll see it over and over and over again. Very, very Pittsburgh. It's the only time I've ever seen that style repeatedly. I mean, these buildings are in really bad shape. And like I said, they've demolished 90% of Pittsburgh since 1905. Well, you're getting to see here the stuff, that was demolished. This is, where is this? This is Beechwood Boulevard, McLean residence. I mean, what in the world? Why is this? This is a nice house. Why has it got like broken windows and shit? Like, what's up with that? Why are you just letting this nice house rot? That makes no sense to me. I mean, some of these are like, obviously they need to be torn down. I mean, I'm not going to argue that they're in bad shape. I mean, there's just no question, but excuse me. Big one, I think you gave me hiccups. What's wrong with you? What happens when you eat cupcakes? Don't even share with daddy. It's not nice. Oh, buttons aren't toys. Bingham Street and Cabot Way. Got some Mudflood winter action there. This is another common thing you'll see is on these buildings, you'll see, nice little details in them, even on the crappy buildings. And I think that qualifies as a crappy building, not just in like it's old and run down, but like it's a small It's not a very nice building, but even though it's not like that nice building, they went through the detail of doing these windows right here. I think that says something. Or maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. This is to be determined. Paint varnish. There you go, Siggy. You can sniff on that. Paint varnish. Up away. Some true 2x there. Turn it all. Butler Street. I love punching into windows and seeing things you couldn't normally see. Look at that grill on that car. What we got going on right there? Barber pole. Like I said, I don't know what we're going to see here. This could be pretty squirrely. Carson Street. Some sort of retaining wall here. Kind of odd. All right. I think we'll just move on if they're not too great. I like this one. Wow. Gosh, can you imagine like if like money was no object, let's just go ahead and rule that out. But just imagine just fixing that up and like wouldn't that be a beautiful home? Like can't you see the beauty in that building, in that structure? And look at this right here, this joist system. Like they've got it something covered up here. That's really weird. You got Mudflood windows down there. Look at that. You got dentals, dog toothing. Check that detail out right there. Look at that. Look at the roof. Like, I mean, it's just really cool. I can't tell you how many of these type of structures that I saw that were being demolished and that were in this same condition when they were doing the when I was doing my research with the Sanborn fire maps. You can still find buildings just like that, and they're quite fascinating to look at in their dilapidation. Look at that doorway, like it's got a transom for the ventilation. Mudflood Wander. Love the juxtaposition of the lace windows with the rundown brick and mortar. Bedford Avenue. And there's so many stories that can be told. Look at these, the wash pans for doing laundry. You know, that's what that is. That's so you can wash your clothes right there. That's how they did it. Look at that, a pail hanging outside. You know, it's like they didn't have indoor plumbing maybe at that time. Obviously, they've added it here, but like this could be like how they did it before they added the plumbing. So that like there's a tale of the past and the present at the same time. That's so cool. There's a story here, you know, there's a real story here, a real human story, Arch Street. How dilapidated this is. And you can see why they demolished this stuff. You know, they were very low income areas in a lot of places, and you know, low income people cannot, you know, repair their homes. I mean, these are not. It's not a joke to repair these. It may sound simple, but it's not. It is a big deal. It's quite expensive to bring these structures up to code, especially today. Back then, maybe not as much, but people just didn't have money. But back today, to bring something like this up to code would, I mean, you break the bank, because they inspect every little thing. I mean, it's just, if you've got one little thing wrong, I mean, you really have to go all in. Check out that little tricycle, that stonework. I think you can learn so much more by looking at things like this than just the standard fare. Because there's a story here. There there's a lot of living went on in here. This is Belmont Street, and check this out. What we got going on here? Look at this doorway on the second floor. I guess the stairs have already collapsed. To me, this is good stuff. Carson Street. Ringing bucket. I think aren't these is that a chicken coop or is that a lobster trap? It wouldn't be a lobster trap though, would it? Look how they did their plumbing. Look at that, no caulk, just a hole through the wall. Bigelow Boulevard. This might be a basement. It was a fire. See that charred wood? Definite fire. Stone foundation. And down in the stone foundation, you got a window. Arch Street. Oh yeah, they're hanging the clothes out the clothesline going out the window. Yeah. Oh, look at these kids right here, poking through. How about that? There's just a story here. See that roof right there? Like, look at the construction of that thing. Like, make that make sense. You got this porch like up here, and obviously they had some stairs or something here, but it just looks strange. And look, it's built right up against a mud hill. Broad Street. Look how the mud is going up against the side of the house. Carson Street. Oh wow, got foundational collapse there, or wall collapse, but that would be because the bottom fell out, or maybe they took a wind out or something. Anyways, that ain't good. You don't want to see that. I forgot what city it is, but there's a. I looked at this in one of the shows, or St. Louis, I think. I think St. Louis. Anyways, people are they're going to these old houses like this, and they're taking them down brick by brick and reselling the brick, and it's very dangerous because they do it without permits. They'll do it like in the middle of the night, and they'll do crazy things to get the walls to come down. Look at the look at how that wall curves in like that. That ain't good. I don't know what's going on there. But they take the bricks and resell them, and those are good bricks. Those are quality bricks. Carson Street, knob and tube wiring. Another thing about this website is they got this stupid thing down here that just drives me nuts. I don't even know what the purpose of that thing is, and it's totally in the way. Whoever codes this website should be taken out back and flogged repeatedly. 14th Street. I hope y'all are enjoying these. Hello, miss. She reminds me of somebody I once knew. I mean, like, these are real people. For sale. I wonder what they're covering up over here. Because look at that curve, almost like an arch is there. 320. Order to vacate premises. That's another thing you see today as you look around on Google in Pittsburgh is a lot of these notices. So even what I showed you that is still there, a lot of it is getting ready to go. Matter of fact, there was quite a good number of the buildings that I found that were still there, but they were actively demolishing the buildings. Like, and so that yeah, they're gone. you know, like, are you going to wait till next year to check? I mean, Bingham Street, Cobblestone Road. I think we can learn just as much from the lower um, class of housing and buildings as we can the higher class. Um, I think there's answers in these areas too. I think we forget these areas a lot. Look at that old stove or old fireplace. Wasn't a fireplace, but we made it into a fireplace, and then we probably burned the place down. Which is probably why it looks charred to death. Definitely looks like a fire was in here. Look at that old skeleton key. You like the residential areas photos, Miss Teresa? Yeah, I do too. Um, they're not as flashy, I'm not going to say they're not, but they've got so much more character. I mean, look, you can see the wallpaper, you can see the plaster and lathe, and the Pittsburgh style roof, and and even they had what we consider mudflood windows. They had the same stuff in the smaller area, in the lower, uh, the poor class areas. But these buildings, these at one time were probably quite nice. They weren't junk. They weren't run down. They were probably you know not bad. You probably could be proud of owning something like this. I mean, just look at the quality of that mansard roof style there. I mean, what character, And it's still got that weird, Pittsburgh style roof. It's just it's a thing. You'll see it over and over again. Once you see it enough, you'll get what I'm saying. 38th Street got the laundry hanging out. Woo, them socks need to be. They need to maybe get a new pair of socks there, buddy. These pictures remind me of George Orwell's book about whatever the name of it, Wiggum Pier or something like that, where he goes to work in the coal mine area. That was a good book. I read all George Orwell's books, where the aspidillas fly. I love the one about a really good book. One of my favorites was the one about, what's it called? Down and Out in Paris, something like that. It's the one where he goes and works as a line chef in a French restaurant. That was really good. He wrote some good books. Not as good as 1984, don't get me wrong, and not as good as Animal Farm, uh, but still pretty good books. Worth a read. A lot of history there. A lot of living on the dole history. A lot of because he was the kind of writer that got in there and got his knickers dirty to get to live the life of the people that he was writing about. And he really got in there and understood the uh, the lives of the people. Look at that outhouse. Imagine going out there in the middle of winter, do your business, drop the kids off at the pool. I mean, ooh, boy, that's a rickety staircase. Mudflood Wander, more Mudflood Wanders. Look at the detail. I mean, they're dilapidated, but you could tell that they were at one time not bad. Porthole, the bones are still there, you know. You got to imagine they probably already, stripped out all the good stuff. These pictures would have been taken right before they were demolished. So people probably came in and had stripped all the good, the real, the antiquity kind of things and the metals and the stuff they could get, hold of. Imagine. You know what that is? Bull Durham. I have good memories of going to the Bull Durham baseball games and going and chasing balls under the stands and coming home with smelling like beer because people would pour beer on you as you run under the stands. Well, probably the teenagers, I don't know, but we always look at that stained glass. Wow, beautiful. Well, I always come back smelling like beer. You been drinking? No, 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 not me. I'm just chasing balls. There ain't nothing better than going to Bull Durham, Durham Bulls baseball games. That was a hell of a time. Peanuts and hot dogs and the crack of the bat and I don't know, just pure Americana. Home, like, just real Carolina, you know, living. That porthole. I got some Etherfinial still up there. Look at that siding there. Like that is that is really quite nice. Stabilizers that makes the building stronger. These would have been added later. They wouldn't have started off with that. They would have found problems in the structure and they would have tried to save it. Like that is a cool building. Where is that? That's Mount Zion English Lutheran Church. So it's a little bit bigger one. Atlantic Avenue. My bricks. It's like reptilian scales. Where you going, Beagle? Well, I'm sorry that I disturbed you. I'm so sorry. Get your booty out of my face, you weirdo. Bates. My goodness. Well, that's a weird way to build. Let's just build so we have to, be under the road. Does that make sense? Speed rail. This stuff is awesome. I've used that quite often in staging. That's some handy shit right there. Speed rail. That's what I call it. Y'all might call it something else. I don't know. Carson Street. Ah, sorry. Old skeleton key. Broad Street. This is a very common feature on these houses, this weird porch area. Very common. I think that this might have something to do with the steel mills about coming in dirty and being a mud room back here. or a place to take off your dirty clothes without coming into the house and dragging the dirt through the house. But I don't know, and you'll see that same layout like over and over and over again throughout Pittsburgh. Very common. It's much more understandable when you look down on the houses. You'll see it looks like an L on the from the roof from above. It looks like an L. Um, 19th Street. A little Mudflood winter action going on there with a grate over it. There's another one in case you need that down in the ground. Got your scales over the as the siding. Interesting. Rushton Road. Look at that, they're growing beans up the string here. I think that's what they're doing. But that's a good way to grow pole beans. Just put strings up and they'll grow right up it. I got me some snap peas today. Some fresh snap peas. And some what is it called? It's like it's a pasta with, I think, ricotta cheese and spinach. Some kind of Italian, and you put a red sauce on it. I don't know, something I hadn't had a while. I thought I'd give that a whirl sometime this week when I'm feeling froggy. Bingham Street, Cabot Way. Surprisingly, I'm a pretty good cook. I've done a lot of cooking in restaurants, so I learned a lot of tricks of the trade that way. Mudflood Wander. Beaver Avenue. I like Beaver Avenue. Yeah, that's a good avenue. We'll get down to Beaver Avenue and check out the wares. We'll head down to Charles Street, see what they got off. See that roof right there? Very, very common in Pittsburgh. It's like it's like a sideways roof instead of, I don't know. It's like in anywhere else the roof would, I don't know. It's like backwards. I don't know. It's really it's very obvious once you see it and understand it, like what that roof is. Hopefully, I'll see a good demonstration of it somewhere. But 19th Street. This is that same structure we saw a minute ago, different angle. More Mudflood Winters down there. There's one for the ladies. Arc light. Boggs Avenue. Check out that old car. I love these old cars. We just don't make them like that anymore. So they got the wash basins out. There's one of them roofs. See, in our area in North Carolina, this roof would be, you know, turn the opposite direction. That I think that's one, you know, one reason it's so weird. But see, it's the same. See, you got it here. It's just a little different. They're not all the same. I'm just saying it's they've got this style of doing it. Daddy hole. All right. Well, I'm gonna pass on that. Thank you. Not sure what that's about. Allegheny Valley Railroad. All right. That's a weird one. Weird picture. Whoa. Wow. Okay. A lot going on there. Huh. That one's a hard one to even begin to decipher. I don't know. I bet these were fun to make. See, there's that Pittsburgh roof again. Wish I knew what that was called. I don't know what it's called. It's Carson Street. Butler Street. This looks interesting. Berry Street. Wow, that's a cool picture. Look at this right here. Like what? And then you got another door up here. That's so weird. Look at the details up under here. I've never seen that style before. That's wild. Look at this little porch area. That's got a lot of character. You could tell that at one time was pretty cool. Anaheim Street. Look at the detail up in there. Hmm. Arthur Street. See this roof? Like this is very common. It's a very different kind of roof. Look at that old couch. You know, that scaly siding. Strange. Carson Street. Wow, this is a good picture set. I'm impressed. Mudflood winner. Radio stars. Lulu Belly and Scott. Syria Mosque. Where are your children? Well, that's straight out of Generation X. They literally ran ads at 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? I could just see the parents looking up. No. Like, oh, that's a good question. And you better be in your bedroom. Like at 10 o'clock at night, you better be in there and you better be square. I tell you what, good gracious. Those were the days, though. They were the best. If you didn't live through the 80s, I'm pretty just convinced you didn't live. You just missed out. I'm sorry. Butler Street. Life just, I don't even know if it's even worth living if you didn't live through the 80s. Because that was the time. I don't care what age you were. It was cool for everybody. It was something for everybody. Especially the younger you were, the better. If you were in your like 20s to 30s, like you were kings and queens. I wasn't, but I was in, middle school and high school era. But man, elementary school was cool, I guess too. But the kids that were 20 to 30, they were they were christened. They had all the good shit. Oh, Adams, that would have been fun. Check that out. Little circumpunct, original symbol of the creator. Boyle Street. Mudflood Winters. Hello, little fella. God, it's hollow underneath the deck there. Wonder what's down there. Definitely monsters. Assuredly monsters. Oh man. Cobblestone roads. Brighton Road. There's a hill up there. There's a fence up there. There's a lot of hills in Pittsburgh, especially back then. Further back you go, the more hills there were. They've cut a lot of that down. I don't think the hump cut was the only area that they took dirt out of. I think that was just they needed to have a story. It's like an example is the Atlanta Underground. They say, "Oh, here's the underground right here. This is it," and that's just a small section of the underground. And people don't realize that, but they don't ever question it because they're like, "Well, there's the underground. Look, they showed us the underground's right there," and then they never question past that. They don't ever wonder what's past that wall at the end. These Mudflood Winters down here, in case you need those. Little circumpunks, original symbol for the creator. And I am a pantheist. If I know most of you have been through this before, but I am a pantheist. If you're wondering what my spiritual viewpoint is Allegheny Valley Railroad, and that is not a religion, so don't even bother. You're not going to find it. It's not. It's definitely, there is no organized religion based around it. There is no books based around it. There is only belief and knowing and a direct relationship with the Creator. And it took me a long time to get where I am. And Butler Street. I don't force my views on anyone, and I certainly don't allow anybody to force their views on me. Um, Although from time to time somebody will make that mistake, and I will end them. But I definitely feel that people need to find their own way to God and creation, and it's not my job to, get them there. That's something you have to work out for yourself, and it's something that you have to work out for yourself. Getting, going somewhere and getting the answers and stopping there is not going to get you there. But that's something you have to deal with. 45th Street. But my point is that I would suggest questioning everything. Everything. Look into everything. Everything you can get your hands on. And eventually the truth will start revealing itself to you in beautiful ways, amazing ways. The universe will talk to you, it'll guide you, it'll work with you, and you'll know that it's real. You'll know, not think, not believe. You'll know. You'll have a knowing at that point that of how the universe actually works, and you're not going to get that from going to church on Sunday or going to synagogue. You're not going to get that reading the Quran. Although there are some answers in these books, in these texts, they are not the answer. None of them. I assure you. I've been there, done that on all of them. I studied all the major religions around the world, and before I came to my conclusions. Matter of fact, the way I finally got to my end result of where I am today is actually interesting. Um, After studying all the religions around the world and not finding um, the answers that I seeked, knowing that there was um, the way it worked was not what they were telling me, and I just kept searching. And the way I came to understand that what I am as a pantheist and my belief structure is pantheism is that I used to read the dictionary for fun. I'd pick a dictionary up and I would literally read it word for word and just read the dictionary. Big ass thick dictionary. Circlepunk. The original symbol for the creator, and the reason this is the original symbol for the creator is that the dot is the creator and the circle represents the universe, everything, the all. And everything is encompassed within this circle, the all, and the creator is at the center. And everything is from the center and everything goes back to the center. Everything is within the all. But I was reading the dictionary and I came across the word pantheism. And when I read the definition, it was like, the hair stood up on the back of my neck and that light bulb went off above my head. And And I was like, wow, that literally just defines my belief. And that is exactly what I'm looking for. That is exactly what I believe, what I am. This is the culmination of my search. And after looking into it more and studying this more, I realized that I was absolutely 100% correct in that assumption that that was what I am. I am a pantheist, and I believe in pantheism. And that has made a huge difference in my life in many, many ways that I can't even describe. I can't even begin to explain all I've been through in the last almost 19 years now. Things that are not even I can't even I really can't explain. They're unexplainable. Um, Other than if you experienced it like I did, it's easy to understand. But I can't explain it to you guys. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I think it's important to a lot of people out there they you'll hear I'm doing a lot of this Charlie Kirk investigation now, and I hear over and over, Christ is King, Christ is King, Christ is King. All of them touting Christ is King, and not one of these people has ever done research into any of that, and they're just touting something that they don't know anything about, and it saddens me because I know how much they're missing. And if I come in and I explain my beliefs, they first off they don't understand what the hell I'm talking about, even though it's so simple. Um, and then they want to debate, and well, you're not going to win that debate, so it's kind of really a fool's errand. But so I try to stay away from it. I try to keep it. I share it with you guys, and I share it with the people that I know, but I don't go around talking about it. I don't it's not a topic very much on my channel because um, it doesn't need to be. But I think everybody's spiritual connection is important because by knowing a person's spiritual connection, their beliefs, it helps you understand that person. Um, it's like knowing their political beliefs. If you know a person is Republican or Democrat, automatically they're still locked in the paradigm. They're still locked in the matrix, and um, they haven't got past that level. They're still on that lower level. I mean, that's just the way it is. And same with religion. As soon as somebody tells me they're Muslim or Jewish or whatever, um, Mormon or Christian, it doesn't matter. I know exactly where they are. I know exactly where they're coming from, exactly what their mindset is, and it's a tell. It tells you everything you need to know. And I would tell you to go look into pantheism or what it means to be a pantheist, but there's not a lot of information out there. It's one of these things that once you get there, you don't need to you don't need to write books about it. Um, You don't need the ego. You can just drop that and leave it be. And the major idea is action. That's great. Get that. But it's not gonna. It doesn't making videos on pantheism. It's not gonna help you guys. I mean, it's something that you have to find for yourself because it's a personal relationship with the Creator. What is your problem, big old mouse? You about had enough of this? Well, I don't know. Oh, look at that Taurus field sitting on the ground there. Those Mudflood windows. Hey, 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 hey. Give me a few minutes, and then we'll play. All right? You mind? Big old mouth hound. You so yippy. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear all that. Hey, what are you doing? You leave that alone, big old nut. Big old hound dog nut. You better zip it. Take a big old cup of zip it. Ha, ain't gonna put up with that. He ain't got time for that. He come here to raise hell, kick ass, and take names. He ain't got time for no beagle. He don't care if your name's on the video or not. He don't give a damn. Well, open the Carson Street here. Thank you. Hey, oh, look at that car. That's nice. Hey, hush. Got a Mudflood drop in there. At least a trap door. Look at that door right there. The detail. That mansard roof. It's a shame that they tore these down. It really is. There's so much history there. There's so much. Hey, I said a few minutes. Do you not know? Do you not understand? I speak fluent Beagle. I speak English and Beagle. A little bit of alpaca. Tiny bit of camel. But I know what you're saying. Do you not understand what I'm saying? We got Canal Street. Hey, we're looking at Mudflood Winters here. We got a porthole here. Hush. Y'all know this is y'all know that I ain't got no control over this. you know how this goes. Oh, well, I got my Sunday night crowd here. I sure appreciate y'all hanging out with me. We're definitely gonna get going here in a minute. I'm trying to get to the end of this page here. Okay, we're almost done, baby, and I'm gonna get on down the road because somebody, I'm not mentioning any names, is throwing a little hissy fit because he's a little hissy fitter, and he's just not having it. So I think we'll go ahead and get on for the night and do that. Let me hold on a minute. Oh, hush now. I'm trying. Just hush. That should fix that. Okay, there we go. I don't know why the camera does that. Okay, you guys and gals and ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Morgan, how you doing? Hey, haha, I didn't get to say hello. Hello. I appreciate you all hanging out this week. I hope we had a good time. Got maybe our minds are a little bit better off for looking at some old world architecture and not so much of that new stuff they present to us. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here because somebody, I'm not going to mention any names, is just not going to let us go any further tonight. But we will be back next week, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. And I will see you very soon. Love, Beags.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No. mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Don't you get it?
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.